This was the first Goa's AI Developer Conference. We were honored to have Sri Rohan Khaunte sir and Siddharth Prakash, who is head of partnership with Google Cloud. And the whole idea of this conference was to bootstrap the AI activities in the state of Goa. Under the leadership of Honorable IT Minister Rohan sir, we have started this initiative. This is the first of its kind in Goa, wherein we are looking at Center of Excellence, execution, having people from different diverse fields of technology to work, build product. I would rather say this is just not built with AI, but built with AI from Goa. That's the whole passion that we're looking at. We have had a great audience today from different academics, from IITs and IT and different colleges. The whole idea is to make sure that they prosper in IT, especially in AI, and we see some solutions from Goa built with AI.
What are the kind of infrastructure you have, digital infrastructure for AI and Twitter?
See, as far as Goa is concerned, we need to be very clear, working with the Prime Minister's thought about technology, trade and tourism. Digital economy has a role to play in every state, building up the country in terms of Vikasit Bharat. Goa, we have been driving Industry 4.0, for which we have our own policies of startup policy and the IT policy. Both policies which were done, drafted and put across with thought process of the industry, government and the academia sitting together. So here the government is sitting together, building up the story of IT and technology in Goa with a very clear thought process that employment should be there for IT, ITES, opportunities should be created. The longer plan of more of the youth of Goa being job givers rather than job seekers is the main funda which, along with the Chief Minister, we have been working on. AI is something which has been disrupted, is a technology which is disrupting different normal ways of moving things, and all bigger companies today are looking at startups or people who are able to come out with solutions which are AI driven. So when we talk about artificial intelligence to be coming here, I was just sharing with Prajot that they have an old MOU in terms of the cardboard. Cardboard is a product which allows you to give that AR/VR experiences in terms of whether school or whatever. Tomorrow if you want a field trip, student from CAPE can have an experience of a field trip and understand what is there. So giving exposure to our children is something which is very important. Google developer groups build with AI, something with Prajot and his whole team has come with, I think is very commendable. This is another example of how government and the industry collaborate and allow the academia to understand what it is. Today the youth will get a whole day of experiences which will allow them to understand what the world is moving with, what they need to move it and how to carry their passion ahead. As far as we are concerned, along with the policies and the funding and the things which we give, we are here with a very clear open arms. Whether it's a center of excellence which somebody wants to put up, wants to have the infrastructure, we are ready for it. In terms of IT, the EMC and the 2M industry, electronic manufacturing cluster at 2M, we have already demarcated a land which is for the design village which is taking shape. The design village will give we roughly have about 100 odd people in the design fraternity all over the country already sitting in Goa and operating. That the natural part of Goa is that the creativity we offer, which allows the people to come into Goa and have this particular quality of life which allows their creative mind to operate much better and more positively. That allows us to shape up the design communities. Whether it is in the drone area or any other areas, we have many people sitting here and working out of Goa. For that we are creating an ecosystem which will be at 2M, which will be a design village. Similarly, coming up with hackathons by this month end, which will be on the governance, environment, healthcare, where the budding youth have to find solutions on AI and AI-driven products. Similarly, we are coming with a conclave in April, May. So these are continuous things which the government plans, because end of the day, conclaves, conventions, meetings are things which will allow the local ecosystem to boost, get exposure and understand what they need to drive. If we are able to create opportunities out of this, and if we are able to give 100% opportunities to the people who are coming out of the colleges, I think that's something which the government can find success upon. Today startups are finding success. The rate of success has gone up in terms of the startups that we have done. 543 certified startups are there in Goa today, which the government of Goa and the center, DPIPTV, have already certified. Funding wise, we have been giving seed fundings and other fundings out of the policies. So I think here we are, along with the Chief Minister, very clear that technology has to be driven in a manner which not only supports the digital economy but also gets the youth of today to be more into the job giver space rather than the job seeker space. And that is how we are collaborating. So this type of convention, this type of meeting, this type of exposures will give a lot of youth to gain a lot of experience. Today's forum talks about almost about 1,000 plus registration wanting to be done, but limitations of things they have limited to about 400, 500. This talks about the volume of success that Prajot has been able to cover out of one day of Google developers sitting and talking about building with AI. So I think it's here we are continuously learning, we are understanding, and we are with open minds to ensure that we are able to collaborate with the right industries. In the next couple of months, the Government of Goa will also be doing roadshows along with the industry partners in various states, where we think we should start showcasing what we have and attract more talent, because when the industry wants to come here, the biggest challenge for them is the talent availability. So as we talk about skilling, reskilling, upskilling, we also need to ensure that the right industries come in. There will be many more stories for us to share in the next couple of months as far as IT is concerned. But here, Goa naturally, as we talk about tourism, knowledge economy is also something which can drive Goa in the longer run, and that is why we talk about IT having a dominant space, technology finding a dominant space. Government has been doing their part in terms of e-governance, ensuring that we are able to drive a lot of things. In this coming month, we have talked about Goa Online, which I had started in my last 10 years, where services of residence certificate, roughly 241 services are there on Goa Online. We are transiting that as we have the option of Goa Online on the net, we are giving you these services through WhatsApp. So chatbot will open up, which will give you services, which then people will be able to get services at those steps. So e-governance, infrastructure, connectivity are three areas where the Government of Goa has put the trust upon. And the Chief Minister also is very clear that we need to build upon the stories next. See, there is not only tourism, it has to also be technology with the spread that we have just spoken.
मिनिस्टर एआयच्या बाबतीत पहिलीच अशें म्हणले गेल्लें आसा की एआय आयल्या उपरांत जॉब्स वतले. तर तुमकां कितें दिसता की एआयचो उपयोग करून जे सिटीजन सर्विसेस आसा तुमच्या सरकारचे किंवा तुजो ट्युरिजमाचे हातून इम्प्रुवमेंट जातले की अशें तुका दिसता?
खंयची टेक्नॉलॉजी फुडें आयली जाल्यार एक भंय आसताच, पूण ताज्या खातीर जेन्ना वर्ल्ड इज ड्रायव्हिंग देर आर सोल्युशन्स, आनी ताज्या खातीर स्किलिंग, रिस्किलिंग, अपस्किलिंग बिकम्स वन डॉमिनंट पार्ट. टेक्नॉलॉजी बरोबर हांव रावचो ना आनी आपलो जॉब वतलो त्या मनशाक हांव कांयच करूंक शकना, पूण टेक्नॉलॉजी बरोबर रावतलो आनी ताज्या हांव अपस्किलिंग आनी रिस्किलिंग करून घेतलो, ताका डेफिनेटली ही वील फायंड अ स्पेस, एंड ही वील फायंड अ स्पेस विथ अ गूड एम्प्लॉयमेंट, म्हणजे ताका पगार सुद्दां बरो मेळटलो जो पयलीं ताका पगार मेळटलो. सो ताजे खातीर एआय जे आज तांचे जातले डेव्हलपर ग्रुप्स, दे वील टॉक अबाउट इट, दे वील फायंड सोल्युशन्स अबाउट इट. तुका ते जे मनान आसा तशेंच आमकांय ते मनान आसा एज अ चॅलेंज, एंड वी हॅव ऑलवेज टेकन दीस चॅलेंजीस. आमकां गोंया वी हॅव व्हेरी लिमिटेशन्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ दीस पार्ट ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट वी आतां रेज केला. द बिगर स्टेट्स मे हॅव बिगर चॅलेंजीस, but we always have a solution with the options of skilling, reskilling. You upgrade your skills, you have an option to find an opportunity much better than what you have and scale up to the next level.
So there are two verticals, agriculture and tourism are the two major verticals which they will be concentrating on. Yeah.
I think agriculture and tourism have a role to play in Goa. So if they have found something and that's something which we think we need to work together, we are open to it. If they want to set up a center of excellence tomorrow here, we have the invitation already to them to come and set up, let Google come and set up a center of excellence, we are open to it. We are ready to support everybody who wants to come here and support the ecosystem. I should again commend Prajot, local Goan, who would have opportunities throughout the world, is an example of one of the boys who stood back in Goa and worked out of Goa, made opportunities for Goans, and is driving today, along with the government, driving things around the ecosystem, which builds up the next generation to come in. आमकां चडशें कितें जाता, आमकां ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी मेळ्ळी की आमी भायर वतात. हांव ना म्हणना, कित्याक ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी जाय म्हणून, बिकॉज यू नीड ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज यूर गोईंग, बट देन यू डिस्काउंट द फॅक्ट दॅट द challenges still remain, and pointing fingers to each other comes with no solution. Here today, this government is sitting and saying, let's work together, let's collaborate together, let's find solutions. And I think examples like Prajot should ripple out to this generation who's come today to know that you can sit here There was a time when you had to go to Silicon Valley and do things. Today you can sit anywhere, create a product anywhere, and sell anywhere. So it's no longer the story that you need to be in Silicon to be a technology driver. You can do it from here. And Goa is the right space. I think in days to come, more stories CM also will spend and spell out in terms of how, along with the center support, the new ecosystem for technology, for IT industry is being created on a much larger scale to drive the knowledge economy and the digital economy of Goa.
How difficult was it to get funding? I mean, is it easily available
In terms of funding for the startups?
Yeah.
I think I would like to sort of reiterate that one of the major backbones is Honorable IT Minister. I would say the government is proactive. He himself is proactive in supporting startups. And very fact that he's been spending a lot of time at the event shows his motive behind this. Funding, yes, there are some certain steps, and we have startup cell as well, which is doing fabulous job of filtration, guiding them. We in fact have a startup clinic today, wherein that access point to the government is now simpler. There's one of the sessions that we have added today where Prashant and his team is going to sort of mentor students for a 1 hour session today. So that is how we are impromptu doing some few things to help the crowd. And we had 1,300 registrations, out of which we have shortlisted just 500. That shows the potential and interest of students. And I think that is what we are tapping on. We are trying from our level best to sort of help them. Because like I think Sir mentioned during his keynote that there was different times when probably he was into his earlier years, but now the funding is there. We just need to sort of build money and take the right approach or right mentorship. I think that is the reason why Google for Developers is here with the assistance with Siddharth Prakash and his team. I think we will take this ahead from here.
What would be the challenges? I mean, what were the challenges that you faced?
Yeah, I think just from my side, I think it was just support from government. I think ever since he has taken over the IT ministry, I think that has been single window of communication. That has worked. I was talking to Siddharth Prakash earlier. That resistance happens at the level, at the ministry. I think Rohan sir has taken care of that. So I wouldn't really say there is any resistance there. IT, I think he's always yes to IT. And he says that government is there. And that is a boost that we all as local entrepreneurs would like. And I'm sure that Siddharth would agree to that as well. That when there is a local body and a government working together along with the outer industry, I think that is where the flourish happens.
I'll just add to a line of what he said. The IT policy which we are there, we have a empowered committee. In fact, next week it is chaired by the Chief Minister. This coming week we may have a meeting with him. Importantly, every startup after certification, which is 4 days of deemed startup certification, if my department does not give you after you comply with all the paperwork, if in 4 days our department does not revert, you become a deemed startup. And the responsibility is on the department official to tell why it is was to be given or not to be given. So the emphasis on the department lies at a higher scale. After DS Prashant has come in as the startup CEO, I think a lot of things have fallen in place. Mentoring, industry consultations, discussions, community discussions, things which have never happened in Goa. First Fridays with the communities, discussions with the designer communities, evenings with different communities have started moving the ecosystem. The startup mentoring, once we the industry people and the government sit together and screen the startups, those people are taken for whether seed funding, matching grants or whatever they are taking under the scheme. I think we are ensuring that they are being given the due support. Up to 50,000 or a lakh of rupees directly we have the powers with the director, and that does not even wait for a concurrence of the government. It's straight away given at the level of director. Balance, which are products which is seed funding up to 10 lakhs of rupees which is to be given. The idea is presented in front of the Chief Minister, the whole committee which involves the government and the industry sitting together, evaluating the proposal and finding the things. Till date, 100%, 95% presentation which have been given, we have accorded approval to even seed funding. So roughly about 4 crores of rupees have been given out now to different startups who have applied for schemes. So we are not last 2 years.
Sir, गोवा हमेशा के लिए सन एंड सी के लिए जाना जाता है. गोवा एज ए टूरिज्म मिनिस्टर, एज ए सॉफ्टवेयर और टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री में क्या गोवा के नए प्लान्स है, स्पेशली एडवेस टैक्सी के ऊपर
आपके your questions are two different questions. One is in terms of your first part, what did you say?
Sun, sand and sea.
Sun, sand and sea, we have added software, we have added sports, we have added spiritualism. So there are 6 S today. Out of this particular S which relates to software, we have been talking about digital nomads for the last couple of years. which we have already started building a story where people roughly about to the community of 7 to 8,000 digital nomads within the country and internationally who have been incentivized by different companies are coming to Goa, living out of Goa and working in the creative space. The challenge today is with the center to take up the digital nomad visa, which will allow the people in this particular space for a long haul to come and stay. And it is not only for Goa to earn and learn, it is for the whole country. I feel in these days to come, a lot of things will move, which will give you a solution for the digital nomads. What was the second part?
Software access always made, and best access.
Aggregators and apps are things as products are technology driven. Whether it is tourism related, we have been very clear along with the transport minister and the chief minister. We have been very clear that technology has to be there, irrespective whether the government is driving it or you want to make it yourself. So taxi apps alo, te kartale, kon kartale, no problem. But apps are portable. So it has to be a app driven technology which supports the thing. A lot of related policies will come out. So we are only driving to ensure that aggregators which regulate things which are very transparent comes in the ecosystem. Today with tourism we have come with EODB. Today we have come with very clear transparency in the overall act of technology also. So wherever we can adapt to technology in terms of e-governance, I think we are doing it. So I think in days to come, a lot of changes will happen. And CM also is on the same page like us to ensure that we are able to adapt. आता ये जना adapt करता, opportunities आमच्या लोकांक मेळटा. The startups who are coming out and coming with services, we are ensuring even if they are coming into websites and other updations and other things which they want to give us services, then they are taken by our one of the subsidiaries, Goa Electronics Limited, which gives them all the government jobs. So today we are not outsourcing it to anybody and everybody. We are giving the business to startups. Startups are getting opportunities immediately as a support system in terms of monetizing them through the services given out of jail.
But when do you think the digital nomad visa should be coming? Is there any inkling? I mean,
Last
do
2
you get
years,
any-
I've been putting my foot along with the chief minister. There are some challenges. We have to understand that a normal work permit is 6 months. So that is like if an Amazon guy is there, he comes, he's given a 1 month incentive now, or a Google guy is given a 1 month incentive. Work out from everywhere, wherever you want in the world. They pick up Goa by default. They want to come here, and especially if he's an NRI, he wants to come to Goa with his family and work out for 3 months, 4 months, 2 months, depending on the month is given. We are talking about a digital nomad who is a freelancer, who is working for many companies, but who needs to be here for a time. Today, roughly about 46 countries have come into the space of digital nomads, and that's one vibrant community which supports the local economy. At the same time, our thought process of homestays, other things complement those stays. At the same time, it allows you to build a talent around it. Co-working spaces around the beach, other things which are happening now will support that infrastructure, what they would need. The only challenge is that small part which we have taken up. I think by now with Ashwini Vaishnavji's presence and the MEA and everybody working together and our interaction with the Home Minister will allow us to give some solution. The Chief Minister is aware about it, and I think with his office getting these particular things moving, if digital nomad happens, visas, like we got the Ayush visa happening and we made it happen. It started from here. So similarly, if we are able to get a digital nomad visa, it's not only for Goa, it's for the country. So it's maybe 3 months in Goa, 3 months in Karnataka, 3 months in Pondicherry, 3 months in Gurgaon. The person coming here will decide. But it's a great opportunity for us to tap into that space, which Goa has already started to tap and taken and been a front runner to get this space.